I'm live. I'm on. Here I am. Yes. Hello and welcome, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. It's a new moon in Virgo. Hello, 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 beautiful Cancer. Hello, Candace. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Let's get going. As everybody comes in, hello, Tessa. So, welcome, everybody. Blessings to everybody. Blessings on this full moon. So it's wonderful to see everybody come in. Well, somebody asked me what time I go on. I said, oh my goodness, it's all depending. It could be 9 o'clock. My morning is set, can be set in different ways. So it's all depending on some of the shenanigans in my own house, but also the shenanigans of the planets and the things that I'm doing. So, are we ready? Are you guys ready for all of this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this rose of the energies that are going to be catapulting you forward into where you want to go? So for those who are just joining me for the very first time and watching the replay, thank you very much. My name is Mary June Tracy. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer, loving the cosmos and loving the energies and bringing you the 411 on the energies as it unfolds. So that's my big thing right now. It's just so much has happened this morning in such a short time. So much has unfolded in such a short time. And it was almost for me, it's a reawakening for me. So this full moon, this new moon, I'm going to say new moon, it is a new moon, is a reawakening. And this Virgo energy that really came in, I mean, the moon was came in at around 4 a.m. this morning. And the energies of it coming forward has really brought in some awakenings. And I started to set up a special altar for today and stuff, and started to really realign where I'm going. Tell me how to drive, Jared. And this morning I felt like my emotions was so turbulent. Yeah. Wow. This is a character test. This energy is coming in and saying, where do you want to go? Like, where are you really seeking truth, or are you sitting on the couch eating bonbons? I mean, if that's really your truth, then cool. But if that's not your truth, then you got to start redefining what your truth is and stepping towards it. And what is that truth? For me, it just popped up that I was just like, this is what I have to do. This is who I am. This is part of who I am. And sometimes I keep it very quiet, and I keep it off to the side, some of my own little, what I love and what I love to do. I like to, some of it I do keep very hush hush. But this morning it came full throttle, and it came out in such a way that says, no, the time is now. When I see injustice start to happen, not only around me, with other people, and within my own family, then Mama gets up and she awakens. And sending people out love and light all the time is really my highest emotion in what I do. And wanting to bring in people's light and wanting them to shine their light upon this earth is so much a part of my work. But this energy that's coming in for all of us is a character test. It is Saturn saying, what are you putting down in this world? What are you doing? Like, there's no more, this is about, there's no more fucking around, basically. There's no more fucking around. This is refreshing our true essence of what our ego is. and allowing ourselves to say, hey, this is what I want. This is where I want to go, without apologies. Without apologies. Starlight Tours. Yeah, I have. But it was, yeah. And I have just have come to it that stepping back into this part of me that I know is true, and that's really bringing in my spell work and stepping back into my spell work and stepping back fully and completely back into my voodoo side and my witchy side. This is bringing in some awakening, and I know many of you are afraid of that within your own self. You're afraid of saying, "Oh, I don't want to hurt somebody," but it's the thing is that you're not hurting anybody. When you are walking into your alignment, and if you're worried about hurting anybody, you're actually hurting yourself. The way we are heading is that truth has to be told and truth has to come out. And if you're not standing in your truth, if you are not standing and being truthful to yourself, then you are just fucking your own self over and sabotaging yourself over and over again. If you are hesitant to be that truth of who you are, again, Saturn's coming in and holding people to their truth, holding it to who they are. We got a Venus Yod coming in, with this energy towards Venus. And it is coming in. That's a finger of God coming in and pointing. And Venus is in where? She is in Leo. She's saying, what is your truth? I want to have beauty. I want to have greatness. I want to be fabulous and wonderful. And this is where it is. Because I love the energy and helping people. Yes, beautiful Cancer. Do it, girl. Just do it. The dark energy is not going to hurt you. The dark energy is like when you stand in the dark, that's where the light is. When I did some of my shamanic training was going in and going into the earth and being buried. That is like you have to come into the earth. The earth is dark. The earth is there. You have to step into it. And the one is that if you have great light, you have great darkness too. You have to understand how to draw from that darkness. You have to understand how to look at it and say, this is what I need to do. And if you're going to mess with things that I want to do, I will stop you, because this is where I want to go, because I'm coming in with the light for the highest good. If people want it, they can have it. If they don't, and it's coming with the purity and the essence of the heart and doing it from the heart. That is the key. And when you step into this alignment, this is one of the reasons why this class is important. The mythic moons is important. Why is it important? Because we're working with the phases of the moon. And I know at Blessed Circle, she started doing a book club, but I want to take that book club and integrate it into doing the work with it. And it's fairy witchcraft, which I am. I'm a Fae shaman, and I worked with Francisca de Grandes many moons ago. I mean, that was my first entry into working with this energy, was to be a goddess and working with that energy to be a goddess. And this is where we have to start to work in order to bring in greatness, right? Greatness and bringing in greatness. And, the thing is that if you are not wanting to bring in greatness into your life, then you will find that things will be turbulent. When you say, like, I have issues with spirit not respecting my space. Spirit respects your space, but you're not respecting spirit. You ignore spirit. When you ignore what you have been called and what is in the stars, they're trying to say, hey, we're here to help you. You know, that's where this energy is coming in. It's saying it's time to awaken to what we do. And this new moon, this super new moon, is one of the most affluent moons that we are going to have for a while. This moon is going to bring in the changes that need to be happen because it is in Virgo. And yes, we have a lot of planets retrograde. Yet, even though they are retrograde, we have Mercury plumbing along right now. So it's to utilize Mercury until it goes into Scorpio, where it'll slow down to go retrograde in Scorpio. And coming up to an alignment that happened on January 12th with the sun in Capricorn. And when the sun was with Pluto and Jupiter and Mercury and Saturn, that was an alignment that was happening in Capricorn at that time. And that conjunction that happened with the transformation and change that started to happen within the world. And now it's like, 9 months later, that it's time that this moon is coming in and saying, all right, you had some time to noodle this all over and figure shit out. Let's get to work. Because that's what Virgo is. Let's get to work. Let's get activated and start to create what it is that we need to create within our lives. This is looking into delving into what it is on our journey that promotes our emotional and spiritual well-being. This is what it starts to do. And this is randomly overdue. And this is where it starts to create. This is where you start to be that person that says, well, I don't want to, oh, that person's weird. Or that person's too out to lunch. Or I don't want, and it's like, fine. But this is what I have to do. This is where I have to go. This is what I have to stand for. And that is bringing in the sacredness. I mean, if we talk about radical, I'm going to even bring in the essence of Jesus. I mean, that's a radical dude. Do you think he wanted to listen to what was being told to him and saying, hey, you know what? You were born to be crucified. You were born to resolve people and show them a better way of life. But to do that, you got to die and go to hell. But we'll introduce you to a lovely woman who's going to teach you how to go to the 7 realms of hell. And her name's Mary Magdalene. We'll bring her in. She's going to give you some help there. But meanwhile, you will be persecuted. You will be hated by others. You'll have to go up and talk to people that you don't want to talk to. You're going to have to do things that maybe you don't want to do, but you've signed up to call. This call has come to you. And at times you don't want to hear it. At times you want to go hide and say, no, I am not. Why me? I am not worthy. Why you? Because you said you would. Why does it come more? Because you said you would. Why did I choose a Celtic lineage for this lifetime? It's probably the one I've chosen many times before. It's because I know the power of the Celts. I know the power of that lineage. I know the power of the goddesses there and the fays that come in. I know that power. Now it's to embrace it. Now it is to embrace it and unravel it and bring it forth. Because in order to create a better world in harmony, not only for myself, but for my children and my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and my great-great-great-grandchildren, I have to do it. I have to be the one who stands up and does it. I can't wait on somebody else to do it. It is so vitally important to bring in that spirituality to this world. And in doing that, this is where Pluto comes in. Pluto comes in, and with it squaring over to the moon and trining over to lovely little Mercury, it is saying, what is your truth? It wants truth. That's what Saturn and Pluto want in Capricorn. They want the truth of the fact. That's why things have been so fucked up. They want truth. There's that scientist that came out, and I watched her. Her thing was on YouTube for a little bit, and she was from China. Her credentials, she has all her credentials and everything. She was in the lab. She said, and I even said, that it's manufactured because of where Saturn is in Capricorn. It's manufactured. She's trying to tell people this is manufactured. This was, brought out. Wake up. This is this is digging and finding truth in things. Not just accepting surface. Not just accepting fucked up memes about astrology. Find out, research it. Look into it. Find people and look it up. That's where this energy is coming in. And it's coming in and it's awakening, and the drums are beating and the energy is coming forth, and it's saying we need to step into this earth energy. We need to step into this creation. And you might say, well, it's only me, but your beat goes out 10 beats. 10 beats goes out 100 beats. 100 beats goes out 1,000 beats. 1,000 beats goes out 10,000 beats. And it goes on and on and on. That is where it's coming in. This morning, I did a full blessing on this house and protection. I got the black salt, I got the salt, I got the cornmeal. I did it all. I anointed my windows with dragon blood. I anointed things. I started to do my different things on the walls to create a better harmonic energy within my house, to create that harmony within my place, in order to bring in the greatness that I want. And what is the greatness that you want in your life? And a lot of times people are like, oh, no, that's so egotistical. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Isn't it wonderful to say that I want greatness in my life? Because if I have greatness in my life, if I have the joy and the bliss and the prosperity and the abundance, look at what I can do. But if I don't have it, then I'm struggling and worried. How am I going to feed my family? How am I going to put the roof over my head? How am I going to put fuel in my car? How am I going to be doing this? It's going to be in the back of my mind constantly. But when we step forward with spirit, when we step forward with what we are here to do and allow for the energies to come in, because when the finger of God comes in, it's pointed at you. It's pointed at you and saying, what are you doing? How are you awakening? What are you hiding that you cannot hide anymore? And that's the beauty of it. So to be here. And for me and my work is total soul work. Total soul work. Because when I put up a class or I do something, it's like, oh, Spirit said for me to do it. And then the next thing they tell me to do it, I do it. And then I look at the lining and I see the alignment. I'm like, oh, okay, you looked at the astrology before I did. So alignment comes in. So my next meditation I'm doing is from October 1st to October 31st. And it is one to bring in love, joy into our heart, to bring in and put out what we need. And that's part of the mantra that we are going to be doing. It's like pushing things out, what we need to push out, bring in what we need to bring in. So it is a beautiful, fabulous Satankar mantra that we will be doing. And it is from full moon to full moon. I tried to say, I was going to do it from full moon to new moon. And no, they said, no, you got to do it past that Libra moon, because there's 3 moons, powerful moons that are coming up in October. So we have a Aries full moon, a Libra new moon, and a Taurus full moon. So, and the Taurus full moon is a blue moon on Halloween. So the energies are there. The energies are powerful. So this, what we're doing today, in your meditations, in your intent, what is no longer aligned with you? What is no longer that of which you don't want to do anymore? That you know is true. That sabotages you. That doesn't allow you to be the truth of who you are. And to get there, it's not always easy. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do this and everything's going to be all. No, there's work to be done. It's same with, if I'm going to do something, say a class, yeah, I'm going to have to read the book. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to know what I'm talking about. I'm doing it, right? So there's things and there's work to be done. I'm also going to be doing a spell casting class, and that spell casting class is going to be coming up, and we're going to be working on, come here, come on. We're going to be working on different, we're going to be working from this book for the spell casting. So we're going to touch on this book, on the Voodoo and Hoodoo spell book. There's another one that I was looking at too, and you can tell this is like I use this book. Sometimes it is difficult to find some of the remedies and some of the stuff in here, but I know that they're trying to bring it in Blessed Circle. And sometimes I have to go on Etsy and other places to find the different things that I need. But we're going to be, because I want to start, doing things. And I'm not ordained as a voodoo priestess or along that, but I have worked in that energy for quite some time. So, and doing more of a root, I would say root, working in the root energy and doing the root energy and working with the root, and more of folklore, which I really love. So this one brings in love, prosperity, luck, fertility, health, protection, and revenge. There's revenge in there too, but we talk about that and what revenge is and what it does. So we're going to be doing work with that and bring in the energies. And I know for some of you who follow me, that might be a lot, or that might be too much for you, which is fine. But that is part of my essence and part of why I came here. Do I always want to teach it? Do I always want to put it out there? No, I don't, because you know what? It's work. It's work because I have, it's work. It's like, okay, I can't just laze around and not do my protection. I can't just laze around and not do it. And that's the thing, is that many of us have. How do you know, though, what you are really supposed to be doing? You know it. You just know. If you are arguing with yourself to not do it, then you know you have to be doing it. If you're like, no, no, I can't do that. Or, that's so hard. Or like, oh, I can't do that because that's going to hurt somebody. It's like, oh my God. Then you know you're supposed to be doing it. You know you are supposed to be doing it. And when you get into it, you're just like, yes, this feels good. And sometimes you're like, oh, this feels good. Oh, am I really supposed to be doing that? Feels too good. Maybe that's too evil, because it feels, you get this feeling. But I know many of you fight it. I bet you it's 95% of you guys fight the true witch inside of you. And fight that essence. And maybe you don't like the word witch. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you want to be called something else, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, I was doing Psalms this morning. Doing the Psalms. Calling in the ancestors. Calling in the angels. And the guilt comes from what have you learned? It's wrong. Understand what the Bible, the thing is that the true essence of Christianity or the Bible, where things were introduced to keep people in line, like hell and Satan. And some of that is derived from that of African tribes and have a totally different meaning. Like, do you know what, the Magi is? And when the Magi's, found it, they were the ones who did the predictive astrology. They followed astrology. They were watching and they saw that, okay, something great is going to happen. And they saw that this one planet, and Magi means watcher of the sky. And coming in, they knew that there was something great. And out of all of the ones who were there at the birth, there were the 3 total outsiders that came in. And the guilt we feel. Oh my God, I was raised Catholic, for Christ's sake. The guilt that comes in, oh, you can't do this. And you got to go to the priest first, and only the priest can do this. Well, yeah, certain priests can do certain things, definitely, because they've been trained in certain attributes of the dark arts, Yet, a lot of it was where if I give fear to you, if I set fear inside of you, right, then you're going to only go to me and say, oh, she only knows the answers. And most of the people that they were bringing the fear to were people who were illiterate and people who did not understand and created that fear. And it's amazing how many of the saints are aligned to the gods of the Africans and the gods of South America. And even Archangel Michael goes all the way back. He's written all the way back into Babylonian times. And then he was reverenced as a god. So I'm bringing that energy in. So, I mean, he is the go-between. He has that energy of the go-between. But, and I got a new cup. There, that's coffee. And exactly, it goes everywhere. But this is the essence of what today is all about. This is the essence of the energies that are coming in for us. And I can feel it more and more coming in. I can feel it more and more with spirit coming in. And I get what Candace is saying. I know to feel death is horrific. I've had spirits pass through me many, 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 many times. Many times they pass through me is because they're pissed off because I've told them to leave. Especially the ones that aren't supposed to be around. So I'm asking for only the spirits that are here to work with me, the guides to be with me. Who are the guides here to work with me and to be with me? So I can set up my strong foundation to work in the grace and love of the divine Lord and Lady, to call in my ancestors and the ancient ones, the ones that have come before me, and there just went a lovely little fairy. So this is coming in with this energy and coming in with the divine. So I have Reiki coming up on the 21st and 22nd. If you are 28th, if you do not have your Reiki, I think it'd be a very good entrance for you to get your level 1 and 2. Once you have your Reiki, at least that's introducing you to a lot of the energies and understanding of the energies. Okay. Some people feel they're not called to do Reiki, but to me, it's a great stepping stone of an opening the door. So when I'm doing it online, because energy's everywhere. If I can receive a cell phone call from Hong Kong, I can receive energies from anywhere. And so we have that's going to be happening on the 21st and the 28th. So there's 2 classes for level 1 and 2. You will be attuned. And I know, Charlene, you still want your but I haven't done it yet. Um, certificate. It is a certificate one. Certificates can be sent to, I could send them out by snail mail, or I can email them to you. And then you have your certificate, and then you can print it off on anything that you want. And I can do that very easily on Adobe and sign it, and then it is signed if you need it signed. Or if you need it an actual one, the thing is that if you need it for anything anyways, you're going to have to photocopy it and send it in for if you're needing it for the insurance purposes. So we have that. We also have the Celtic moons coming in. So we're going to be working with the Celtic moons, right? How do we get in the workshop? Okay, the workshop, how do you get in on the workshop? I'll just put up my, this is my website. Hopefully, okay, they didn't block me. And this is my email. And you can contact me through my email. I do have payment plans for this. So if people cannot pay the full price, it's $222 for both levels. So, and I do have payment plans for that. So there's that, which is a fabulous, it's opening. When I was first attuned and got that attunement, it was just like everything was brighter and everything was great. And then the person who attuned me didn't want to attune me to level 2 or masters. For whatever reason. She said I didn't need it, which probably was true, but at that time, for me, I really wanted it, but she wouldn't attune me. So I had to go on a search and find somebody else to attune me, and I did. I found Bev, and she attuned me, who self-attuned herself through Diane Steen. And then I got attuned many times after that by another beautiful Reiki master who also was self-attuned and attuned through Diane Steen, because Diane Steen is a self-attuned Reiki master. So this is where it's like, wow, you can bring the power in within, and so it's just, bringing in that brightness. The Mythic Moon one, it is like the idea of this course, it is for a whole year. So I averaged it out to be $50 a month. And then you could break it down to weeks or whatever, what that $50 is. That might be even still too much for people. And I'm just being honest, because sometimes it's like, yeah, I could do it. And then, wow, okay, I got this and this and this. Okay. They keep on pulling this, and the weird thing is, here's the weird shit, is that I tried to put this up on Facebook twice and it got dropped. So for some reason it wouldn't let me, the energies on Facebook would not let me put this up on Facebook. And I tried on the Guru Mama page, I tried on the other page, on my Mary June Tracy, which I usually do all my events, but it wouldn't let me. And I was just like, fuck. What the hell's going on? So if you are interested, my God, my guide grounded me like I've never been grounded. It was shocking. Oh, that's cool. If you are wanting to take this with me, email me or get a hold of me on Messenger through Facebook, okay, to work with me on this. And I am starting on the 21st. I know it's a couple days before. Come here. Let's go. Because Friday evenings can be difficult. But we can do the first one on a Friday. We can do the first one on the 23rd. So the first one on the 23rd. So if you're wanting to work with me on this, and this is like to delve into this energy and working with the the moon of transformation, mythic proportions, and it's not so much. It's not a book club. Somebody asked me if it was a book club. It's not a book club. It is a club. It is a club. It is a gathering where we learn deeply about the lunar correspondence and the cycles of healing. Right? And this is where we come into the mirror of the moon and work with the energies of the mirror of the moon. And we also do working visualizations with the sovereign moon and bring in that energy of purification. And one of the moons that we will be working with too is on the 31st. And the one on the 31st is actually it's a true blue moon, and it is the second full moon that we will have. And this moon is actually going to be bringing in transformation and change for that. And that is the moon that is coming in with with transformation and change, but the working with the different herbs that represent it. So doing that. So anyways, I'll try and put it up there today and get it going today. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to open it up. I got about 15 minutes to any questions anybody has. So I'm opening up, and I know those who are on Facebook, Facebook is kind of being funny, even though you can probably see me. Not all the time will Facebook messages that you write be sent to me, just an FYI. So Facebook, I know, is starting to be funny, and I think that has to come with changes that are going to be happening October 1st with Facebook. So if anybody has any questions, because it is the full moon or new moon, so this is yeah. Now everybody's like, oh, wasn't expecting her to see if I wanted questions. That's weird, Tamara, that you can't get a signal all the time. Candace has nothing? What? Hold on here. I'm coming down to your place. What do you have in your coffee? Are you still doing the new moon readings? Yes, I am. Yeah. So I still have, if you are wanting a new moon reading, definitely, Raylene. Yeah. Just message me. I know weed. Got weed or something in your coffee. Something's going on with Candace. I know that. So my mug I got today, I got it yesterday, was at Michael's. Okay, I'll send it to you, love. I'll get that out to you. It'll be later on today. And whoop, hold on. See, I got new things behind me. So I have my paint class tonight. So I have You Make Me Happy and Fall in Love. So I got those two behind me. So I got that set up behind me. And I want to get a couple other pictures and put them up there as well. So, and do that. I just have to find something that'll grab me. So I love sunflowers. I love my owl that I painted. And then those are my affirmations for the heart that I have on there. And I'm going to finish out. This is going to be probably one that I'm going to get up there. I'm going to be putting that one up soon when I'm done. I'm not finished it yet because I got markers for that. And I'll be putting the Eye of Horus up there. I love this one. This is another one that I did. Where is your hanging? Where's your hanger? Which the Ganesh got folded up. I was told. It was funny that Candice mentioned something to me yesterday because I've been told lately to fold Ganesh up. So I'm like, okay. So Ganesh went up. I have another elephant out in my sort of entranceway, and it is made of saris, and that one's coming down too. So this is a freshness or a fresh look. Thank you. Thanks. There works in process. My yin and yang. But every time I paint yin and yang, it doesn't work very well. Anyways, it's a balancing act with that. So, but just, that's coming in with freshness and coming in with these energies. And I want to, and I'm looking for different goddesses. So I've seen a picture of one of the goddesses that I want. I think it's Yaman, and Ishtar I want. Both of those are beautiful black goddesses, but it's hard to find them black, if that makes any sense. So it's hard to find those goddesses. You get usually the clay goddesses, which are great, and they're beautiful, and I think I got every single one of them. But I want to get ones, with the faces. So I think that's just bringing out my voodoo side and my hoodoo side. So, and doing that. So thank you for the compliment. But yeah, so I'm bringing things in. And Candace, get another cup of coffee. What's wrong with you? Where's Jared? Tell Jared to get you a coffee. Jared's like, who is this woman telling me what to do? It's bad enough my wife is. But yeah. And Charlene, the big thing for you, and one of the big things for you is really believing in yourself, really believe in your power and not being afraid of it, because your power is here to strengthen other people and strengthen your pathway. But the more you deny it, the more lack is going to happen. So you got to really trust in that power and trust in your power. And that's what happened today because of incidents that happened, an underhanded incident. This is what pisses me off, is when people try and do things underhandedly. And especially when it happens to my family and my grandson, and try to manipulate things in a way because they know. It's weird. This is okay. There are single moms out there that hear me, and I just would like to have your interpretation on this. So I'm going to ask a question on interpretation. Is that my daughter's been beautiful. Like she's been very honest and open with the father of her son and wanting to work with him. Now, when the little guy came up with some information about his other grandfather, of course, we had to go through the doctor and the doctor's examination and reports and everything else. And his father, like she told him right away what Matea said, and he ignored her. He didn't believe her, and yeah, I get it. It was to do, that's my dad. How dare you, and everything else. But we found out later on that there were reports of allegations against his own father when he was a little child. So there's a lot of things going on there besides that. But anyways, fast forward, both of them are no longer together. They both have, other people that they are seeing. And yet, Olivia wanted to go, and it wasn't a court. It wasn't going into court. It was going through a mediator to, like, she filed the papers for, being, and she had to do this basically because of, when she takes him to the hospital, she has to say that I have full legal rights to say what's going on with this child because he has a tear duct. And so she has to, and anyways, so they said, well, you have to get things going. So she told him, this is what I have to do. This is what's going to be going on. And he doesn't always like to respond. Neither does he like to respond to his son's FaceTime calls or call him on Christmas. He didn't do anything for him on Christmas or call him on Christmas or his birthday last year. He didn't do anything for his birthday. He didn't call him on his birthday or anything. And same with this year. So he hasn't participated, only when he felt like he wanted to. So Olivia was still saying that, yes, yeah, you can see your son anytime. Like we can make arrangements. But the only thing is that you can't take him over to your dad's house. And the reason being is because of the abuse charges. Or it wasn't charges, but allegations. And last night, at around, it must have been after 9, she received an email from his lawyer. He got a lawyer. And I thought, well, how could you get a lawyer? And this isn't a lawyer that is, it isn't legal aid or a lawyer. How could you get a lawyer, but you don't want to pay child support? So now everything has been postponed. So she does need prayers and protection on this, and has to go because unfortunately mommy and daddy here, my work hasn't produced. And this is one of the other reasons is that I want greatness, is that I want to be able to help not only my daughter, but if somebody else came to me and they needed help, I want to be able to help them and be able to do that financially, because lawyers are not free. So, and to get a lawyer. And so now she has to go through and get legal aid and get a lawyer. And I was just wondering if any other mothers have had to gone through something similar, which I probably have. And especially doing something so underhanded at the last minute, when all the things that I just want to work for the highest good of my son. And so my son can see his dad. And now through this, he will not see his dad. All ceasing of talking to his family and anybody in that family has now stopped. Which is really sad, really sad. So I found it funny, this all happened on the new moon, plus with Mars retrograde. And all of this was starting to rise last week when Mars went into retrograde. And I thought, okay, shit is going to start hitting the fan. And it has. But the thing is, it awakened me. Not only, yes, it was crazy shit has been happening with a wonderful person that I'm going to consider a good friend now, happening to her because of the deceit from another person that is coming through. And I'm going to say that every time. And if she hears this, she knows who she is. And don't fuck with me. That's the other thing, because it awakened a part of me that is there, but I knew it had to be awakened. And God knew it had to be awakened. Because it was like, you're messing with children. And when people start to mess with children and start to do ill will to others without forethought, no, that's wrong. That is wrong. That's a sin. That is a sin, because you are doing ill will and ill intent upon somebody else to do harm, and you know it. So this is when you got to start taking 100% responsibility of your realm and saying, okay, what do I need to clean up? I've had to do a lot of cleaning up in my realm, because I've done some fucked up shit and crazy crap because of my insecurities and lacking in my own life. But it was a huge awakening, huge slaps in the face. But I'm owning it. But I'm not going to allow that to happen to somebody else doing it upon me. And I'm going to say no. So when dealing with that, to me, I find it underhanded. And the reason why I was asking is to say, is like, do you feel, because sometimes, I do have to watch my ego. I'm a Scorpio. That being wrong. Like I just felt it was very underhanded. Very underhanded. And it wasn't for the best interest of his child. And they want to settle everything out of court. And I'm like, that's probably because things will come up. Right? Very sneaky, yeah. I hope you get yours, Dwayne. No, call in the angels for support and protection, and nobody's going to try and rob you. Call it in. Call in that protection. Call in the protection. Call in the protection of your God. Call in the protection, because you are needing that for the highest good for yourself, to help to make you more prosperous in a way that's going to allow for help for you. So call in help and guidance. He's scared of something surfacing. That's what I was feeling too. Very scared of something surfacing. And I think it has to do because when he was little, he was pulled out of school. Social services showed up in school and pulled him and his sister out. And they had to go into foster care. So, and the allegations were not towards his grandfather, but it was towards his father. Probably a lot of guilt. And nobody ever went to counseling. And when we took Mateus, they said, right now there's nothing to counsel because he's not saying, he was like 3.5, 4. So there's nothing really to do, but the counseling is always there and open, and we're more than willing to take him to it, in whatever he wants. And that's the one thing is that, and I said to Olivia, I said, that's the number one thing is that we don't dismiss this. We discuss it and we heal it and we forgive it. That is the most important thing because we don't want it to continue. And we don't want him to not know that he was wrong or anything like that. And that to me is the most important because I've seen pedophiles in the Catholic Church. I met them, and it's like, how you can't heal if you keep hiding it, and it takes a strong person to stand up to that. It takes a strong person. And it was a bishop in Edmonton who broke the cycle. And had to stand up and called the RCMP and said, this is what I've been told. And I'm breaking my confessional vow. Because this is wrong. Wow, that's big. That's big. But this is why awakening and standing in your power is so, so important. Because when you stand and you are standing in your love and your light and allowing for healing to happen, then you are actually, you may not know who it touches. And that's the thing, you don't have to know. Gandhi didn't know everybody who he touched. He touched the world. Mother Teresa, she touched the world. So we don't know everybody who we're going to touch. Right? Mandela. I was doing papers on Mandela when he was arrested and doing little protests for him and on the African National Congress. I was writing about it, and I had one teacher say, "Are you from South Africa? Are your parents?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Holy shit, you got a lot of passion for this." Yeah, I do, because I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. Right? So standing up and doing things is so important right now. And calling in your protection. There's nothing wrong with calling in the saints, calling in your angels. That's all part of it. The more you call them in, the more they're going to be there for you. And definitely do that. Dwayne, call in protection for you. You know who your God is. You do your prayers every day. Call him in. Ask him for help. That's what he's there for. So on that point, yes, we're breaking the cycle. We're setting things forward, and we're bringing in the love and the light of the world. Definitely get a hold of me about my courses and the meditations. And yes, I do have the new moon. Is still available. So sending you guys out so much love. I have to get going here. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless you in all that you say and all that you do and all that you be. Jarrett, please get Candace another cup of coffee. She needs it. And thank you so much for all of you coming in and being a part of my beautiful world, because you make my world more beautiful each and every day. Blessed be everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.